Mary and John, a couple, um, they've been on a long-term trip, and they're on their way back home. They've had a long flight, all the airport and everything that goes with it. It's exhausting. They come back home. It's been months since they've been away, right? And there is a small race to the shower. Which one wins? Mary wins. Mary makes it to the shower, and she can't wait to just relax with the flowing water on her body and just wash off all the exhaustion from the trip. She notices the water smells and it has a funny color. She realizes right there that she's been away and that water has been stagnant in the pipes and it has collected all sorts of impurements. And she realized that she needs to wait. She needs to wait until the really dirty water flows and flows and flows until she gets to the good and clean water. So she has to muster up some patience, just stand there, put in some effort until all the bad, dirty water comes out, and finally a clear, clean water comes and she can take a shower. Okay, so now let's keep that analogy and let's imagine dirty water as our bad ideas. And let's think of the clean water as good ideas. Okay, so how can I run my bad waters out until I get to the good waters? How can I run my bad ideas out until I get to the good ideas? All right. So this activity is pretty simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't require any effort. It does. I'll tell you what it is. Writing. I know. Writing does require effort. And wait a minute, isn't writing only supposed to be for select few with high IQ and geniuses who write works of art? No. Writing is a tool. Um, Writing is a tool through which a person can think. It's a means of simply translating abstract thoughts into words, language being the medium. So anyone can write. I typically write not because I want to create works of art, although sometimes I try, but my writing is typically for the purpose of letting all the bad ideas come out so I can get to the good ideas. Now, besides letting all the bad ideas out, I want all the repressed emotions, all the emotions that I never consciously think about and I never consciously analyze to do that. Now, let me explain more about the format of the writing. I've already explained some of it, but just to give it a little bit more structure, here we go. Let's give it a name. I've learned this name from Julia Cameron in the book called The Artist's Way. She calls it morning pages. This morning pages is simply this: 2 to 3 pages of either longhand writing or typing. And what can you write about? You write about anything that comes to your mind. And you can write as aggressively, as hatefully, as lovingly. You let all of that out. You don't have to read it again. You don't have to show it to anyone. This is only for you to let all of it out, all the dirty water out, so you can get to the clear ones, all the good water, all the good ideas. 2 to 3 pages, or 20 minutes of writing, or 10 minutes. You decide the structure. However, even if you want to do 5 minutes, I say do it. When I learned this, I tried it. It was very difficult at first because there was this resistance in me that was keeping me from doing it. And why this resistance exists, I can explain that in another video. However, this resistance exists in all of us, even especially towards all the activities that are aimed, that we want to do in order to level up towards our own higher self or external world's higher self, right? So this resistance exists. By simply making it less minutes, fewer pages, we can overcome this resistance and just do it. But it's something that you would experience, that sort of releasing and lightness that you would feel afterwards. I don't think there's anything better on the planet that can do that. It's a very powerful tool that has been working for me. I learned it and I've been doing it for the past 4 or 5 years now. I've never stopped. Now I don't do it exactly every single day religiously, but majority, I would say 80% of my days, I do it. And I do it just on my notes app, on my MacBook, or on my phone. I just open up a page and I call it Daily Log. And now I call it Daily Log because I've learned about this organizing method called the bullet journal method, which I can talk about this in another video. And I would like to talk about this because it's something that has been helping me, and the whole purpose of these videos is to share what's been working out for me, for whoever wants to listen. Unsolicited advice. I call it Daily Log, and right beneath it I say morning pages, because I want to know later on that, okay, this is morning pages, this is my brain dump. And I just write and write and write about anything. Typically go about 20 to 30 minutes, and at first typically all the bad stuff come out, all the, if I'm feeling angry about someone or something, if I'm upset about some political thing, something that's happening in the society that I'm in, whatever it is, I let it all out. And usually towards the end, there are at least 1 or 2 paragraphs or 1 or 2 sentences that are worth thinking about and worth sharing even. Usually, I come to some kind of mental clarification. Then I'm able to better understand my long-term goals, my short-term goals. I better understand how to structure my days on this particular day that I'm doing the morning pages. I love doing it. And I don't think there's anything more that I want to add to it. So, in summary, morning pages, which is simply writing down your thoughts without any censorship. Okay, so you just write down whatever comes to your mind. No matter how painful you feel about writing it, do it. I know sometimes you say some things, you notice some things about yourself that you've been sort of not looking at, but over here you're facing it, but then you feel some kind of a release, and you get to know yourself much better than before, and you get to understand your relationships better. And if you do this for days and days and weeks and months, there's this compound sort of effect that happens, and the benefits of yesterday sort of carry over to the next one, and then the benefits of the past 2 days carry over to the third, and so on and so forth. All that happens is every day you get deeper into knowing yourself better, and to understand the world around you better, and the people around you much better. And what happens when you get to know yourself and the world around you better? You get to understand what are your likes and dislikes. You get to understand what direction you should be on. You get to understand what you should choose as your priorities. Is my priority to just, vaguely think about making money? Just whatever means possible, I'm just gonna go for money. It's no longer vague when you start doing this practice. The other benefit is, no matter what kind of field you're in, no matter what medium of work or craftsmanship or whatever it is you do, whether you're a stay-at-home mom who's taking care of the household and raising children, to an owner of a small business, to a musician, a painter, drawer, no matter what it is that you do, you can benefit from this, because not only you get to know yourself better and understand what it is that you need to do for your life, you also get more creative. You can understand how you can solve your problems in your life much better. You come up with a solution because you're letting all that bad water coming out. And then you can bask in that beautiful, clean water and benefit from it, right? Of course, that's an analogy. So you let all the anger come out, you let all the aggression come out, all the envy, grandiosity, all the ambition, all the whatever it is, whatever qualities that our parts of our psyche are experiencing, whatever negative emotion is, as well as positive emotions. All of those come out, and you get to see the content of your mind in a much clearer way. So definitely try this, okay? Again, it's called Morning Pages. If you want to know more about this, get Julia Cameron's book. I believe it's called The Artist's Way. The Artist's Way. It's so great. Whether you're a creative or not, you can benefit from it. Okay? I'm excited for you. Until next time, bye-bye.